There is a path that exists not in any forest, not on any map, but one that each of us must walk alone. It is the path through the landscape of your own soul. For too long, you have been a visitor in this inner territory, a tourist snapping pictures of the surface while the deep mysteries remain unexplored. You have heard echoes from the caverns, within you whispers of courage, flashes of insight, the rumble of untapped strength, but you have been afraid to venture deeper. What if I told you that the person you are meant to become is already waiting for you at the end of that path? Not a different person, but the most essential, authentic, and powerful version of yourself. The one who is not shattered by criticism, who is not intoxicated by praise, who meets chaos with profound calm, and who turns every obstacle into a stepping stone. This is not a journey of acquisition. It is a journey of remembrance, of uncovering the fortress that has always existed within you, stone by ancient stone. Tonight, we begin this excavation. We will walk this path together, not as teacher and student, but as fellow travelers seeking the same destination, an unshakable inner freedom. Let us begin at the beginning, before the fortress, before the path and the raw material of your being. Look at your hands. They are the hands of a creator, but for most of your life, you have let others shape you. You have been soft clay in the hands of parents, teachers, advertisers, social media algorithms, and the shifting winds of popular opinion. They have told you what to desire, what to fear, what constitutes success and failure, and you have believed them. The first, most radical act of sovereignty is to take the clay back. The Greek philosopher Epictetus, who was born a slave and became one of the most free men who ever lived, gave us the master key to this reclamation. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Let us sit with the immense power contained in that simple statement. The event, the thing that happens, is neutral. It is just clay. It is the rain falling. It is a word spoken. It is a stock market fluctuation. It is a diagnosis. Your judgment, your reaction is what gives the event its shape. You are the potter. You decide if the rain is a nuisance or a blessing for the parched earth. You decide if the spoken word is an insult or a curiosity. You decide if the market fluctuation is a catastrophe or an opportunity. You decide if the diagnosis is a death sentence or a summons to live more fully and intentionally than ever before. Most people live their entire lives as the clay, being shaped by external forces, wondering why they feel so misshapen, so uncomfortable in their own skin. The Stoic becomes the potter. The practice begins with a simple but profound question, asked in the space between the event and your reaction. What story am I telling myself about this? Your partner is late. The story you tell yourself might be, they don't respect my time. I am not a priority. This story creates frustration and anger. But what if the true story is, they encountered unexpected traffic? They are as frustrated as I am. This story creates patience. You make a mistake at work. The story you tell yourself might be, I am incompetent. I will be fired. This story creates shame and anxiety. But what if the true story is, I am human. I have discovered a gap in my knowledge. This is a learning opportunity. This story creates humility and a desire to improve. This is not positive thinking. This is accurate thinking. It is the discipline of refusing to add a layer of catastrophic fiction to the neutral facts of reality. Every time you pause and question the story, you are reclaiming your clay. You are taking back the wheel. Sovereignty is the principle. The inner citadel is the structure. This is the fortress of your mind, and its walls are built not from stone, but from disciplined thought. Imagine your mind as a kingdom. Until now, it has been undefended. Marauding bands of anxious thoughts raid your peace at will. Armies of resentment lay siege to your contentment. The barbarians of envy and fear are at the gate, and you have been a helpless monarch. Watching the chaos from a crumbling tower. It is time to build your defenses. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent, the practice of giving or withholding your agreement. From the impressions that enter your mind, Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled the known world from the front lines of countless wars, wrote this to himself in the quiet of his tent. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Let that sink in. Your inner world is colored by what you allow to reside there. An impression enters. This project is too difficult. I am going to fail. This is just a thought, a scout from the army of doubt. You have a choice. You can open the gates and let the entire army in by agreeing with it, by feeding it with more evidence of your inadequacy, until the fear occupies your entire kingdom. Or you can stand on the ramparts and respond with a stoic rebuttal. You can say, "Oh, the thought of failure has arrived. I see you. The project is indeed challenging. That is a fact. But I am going to fail is not a fact. It is a prediction, a story. I choose not to assent to this story. My task is not to guarantee success. My task is to do the work with excellence, right now, to the best of my ability. That is all that is within my power. This is not a what-I'm event. This is the daily, hourly work of building your citadel. Every time you consciously refuse a destructive thought, you are placing another stone in your wall. Over time, the walls grow so high and so thick that the chaos outside becomes a distant murmur. You can hear the song of a single bird even in the midst of a hurricane. What are the stones made of? They are made of your core principles, your virtues, your why. A stone of courage. I act according to what is right, not what is easy. A stone of justice. I treat everyone with fundamental respect, including myself. A stone of temperance. I master my desires so they do not master me. A stone of wisdom. I seek to understand before I seek to be understood. When your walls are built from this material, you are no longer a vulnerable kingdom. You are an unassailable citadel. The world will test your citadel. It will send its sieges. The Stoic does not merely endure these attacks. The Stoic performs alchemy. They take the base metal of pain, loss, and obstacle and transmute it into the gold of wisdom, strength, and character. This is the heart of amor fati, the love of one's fate. It is the decision to not just accept what happens, but to embrace it, to see it as necessary fuel for your transformation. The story of the philosopher Zeno is the perfect allegory. Zeno was a wealthy merchant who lost everything in a shipwreck. Washed ashore in Athens, destitute, he wandered into a bookstore and discovered the teachings of Socrates. He later said, "I made a prosperous voyage when I was shipwrecked." The external catastrophe led him to the internal treasure of philosophy. The loss of his wealth was the price of admission to a life of profound meaning. Your shipwreck might be a divorce, a bankruptcy, a betrayal, a failure. The ordinary mind sees only the wreckage. The Stoic mind, trained in alchemy, immediately begins to ask, "What can this teach me? What hidden weakness in my character did this event reveal? What strength did it force me to discover? What does this make possible? What old door has closed, forcing me to find a new, perhaps better, one?" What freedom exists in having lost this thing I was so attached to? How can this deepen my compassion? Having gone through this pain, I now understand the suffering of others in a way I never could before. My capacity for empathy has grown. Let's make this painfully practical. Imagine you are fired from a job you loved. The first, raw reaction is grief, shame, fear. Acknowledge it. Feel it. Do not suppress it. Then begin the alchemy. The lesson. Perhaps I had tied my identity too closely to my job. This is teaching me that I am more than my title. It is teaching me resilience. The possibility. I am now free to pursue a path I was too afraid to consider before. To start my own business. To change industries. To take a sabbatical and reconnect with my family. The compassion. I now know the sting of professional rejection. I will never again take for granted the dignity of work. I will be a kinder, more supportive colleague and leader in the future. The obstacle, the firing, is no longer just an obstacle. It has become the way forward. The hammer strike that seemed destined to break you has instead tempered your steel. This is how you build a soul that is not just resilient, but anti-fragile, a soul that actually grows stronger under pressure and chaos. Your citadel is built. Your alchemy is practiced. But the storms of life are relentless. Anxiety about the future and regret about the past are the two great thieves of our peace. They pull us out of the only moment we ever truly possess. This one, the final, and perhaps most essential. Practice is to learn to drop your anchor into the deep, calm waters of the present moment. This is where the Stoic philosophy meets mindfulness. The future is a fantasy. The past is a memory. Both are phantoms. The only reality is the breath entering your lungs right now, the feeling of your feet on the floor, the sight of the light on the wall. When you are gripped by anxiety about a meeting tomorrow, you are suffering in the present moment over a fictional event in a non-existent time. When you are consumed by shame over a mistake you made last year, you are allowing a ghost to haunt your current home. Marcus Aurelius advised himself, don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Stick with the situation at hand. This is the ultimate grounding technique. When the world feels like it's spinning out of control, bring your attention to what is immediately within your control in this exact second. Can you control the outcome of the meeting? No. Can you control the fact that you are sitting in this chair, breathing? Yes. Can you control the mistake you made in the past? No. Can you control the next right action you take from this chair? Yes. This is not avoidance. It is the most strategic form of engagement. By fully inhabiting the present, you marshal all your resources. You are not leaking energy into imaginary futures or unchangeable pasts. You are 100% here, capable, and ready. Practice this now. Wherever you are, notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. You have just returned home to the present. This is your anchor. This is the unshakable core, the eye of the hurricane, the silent, powerful center of your being that remains untouched by the chaos that swirls around it. We have walked the path tonight. We have taken back the clay of our being. We have laid the stones of our inner citadel, one disciplined thought at a time. We have learned the art of alchemy, turning every hardship into fuel. And we have dropped our anchor into the eternal present. This is not the end. It is the beginning. The real work starts when this video ends. It starts the next time you feel the heat of anger, the chill of fear, the weight of disappointment. You will not do it perfectly. You will forget. You will open the gates to the barbarians sometimes. This is not a failure. It is part of the training. The Stoic is not a statue, immune to feeling. The Stoic is a warrior who feels the blow, acknowledges the wound, and then chooses to respond with courage and wisdom instead of reacting with panic and despair. Do not seek to become a Stoic. Seek to live like one in the messy, beautiful, unpredictable arena of your life. As you move forward from this moment, carry one question in your heart, a question that will guide you more surely than any map. What would the person I wish to become do in this situation? And then do that thing. Your inner fortress, once a ruin, will with consistent practice become an impenetrable sanctuary. And from that sanctuary, you will radiate a calm so profound, a strength so gentle, and a freedom so complete that it will become a silent invitation to others to remember the path to their own. You are the potter. You are the architect. You are the alchemist. You are the guardian of your own soul. The path is waiting. Walk on.